And we're back again. The world famous wrestling fellas, or soon to be world famous wrestling fellas.
World famous.
Mate, we'll take over the world one day. One day.
Bloody
Pink
hope
in the
so.
rain, that, innit? It's like pink in the rain, innit?
Well,
What do you want to do today, Matt?
This time next year, we'll be millionaires.
Millionaires. Oh, fucking nice that, wasn't it? But other than that, mate, other than the dreaming, how are we doing?
Oh, I feel disabled, mate. It's unreal. I don't know how people do it. Not that they have a choice. That's such a stupid comment. I'm just in pain, mate. I can't.
I was just going to correct you there. I was going to go, it's not really a choice.
Yeah,
mate.
it's not a choice. Yeah. Just still can't walk. My hip's killing me. I need a new bed. My back's starting to work, mate. I'm just done now. I just want to get up and do my own thing. I want to go Christmas markets, man.
Right, so sounds like I need to come up to your house with a shotgun. We'll go out back and play all yellow.
Yeah, you have to do what shit on Michaels did to me. It's a Ric Flair. But then I'll just come back anyway and just wrestle about 9 times and look like an idiot doing it. So don't worry about that.
Yeah. I didn't make an energy drink that's made with mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exclusive to AEW.
Yeah.
WWE have got Prime. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good, mate. I'm good. Good. Couple of days off. But I'm on my days off now, so I'm very charged. Work still shit. But yeah, no, I'm good, mate. I'm good. But we've had a busy weekend. Busy couple of weeks since what was the last pod we did? I don't know if it's out.
It didn't go out because it won't let me. We won't let me edit it.
All right.
So, I will explain to the people. I have non-stop issues with editing. The last couple of weeks, it's doing my head in. I need some new editing software, and I need Photoshop quick as possible. Because these pods these videos that we do on Tuesdays, for some reason, are just my computer isn't recognizing them when I try and edit them. But then the ones we do through Streamlabs to do GM mode are fine. So that's why Matt v. John went out Sunday. Go and watch it. Go and watch it. Wrestling Fans 5350. By the way, I'm really proud of the thumbnail I did. That's behind me here. I'm really proud of that. It took me a good while to actually get it done. I've been practicing random thumbnails, doing random stuff just to try and get me. What's the word up? Get me skills toned, as you will. Anyway, yeah. So there's been no proper pod for a good couple of weeks now because as much as I've tried to do it, it won't let me. So I'm looking for a new. I don't do torrent sites or downloading stuff because I'm scared to use them for viruses and stuff.
I've got one mate that my mate gave me that does editing as a job. It's a freebie.
Oh, cool.
So I've got one for you.
Right. So this one will go out then, if that's the case. We'll have this one going out. The last one we did was about Tony Khan and losing the plot, which I was really chuffed with because I had a big rant planned for Tony Khan. And then last week's was not last week's because we had a week off. The week before,
Crown Jewel
was about Crown Jewel. It was and how bad it was, and it was the second worst one we've ever watched. So, and apart from Logan Paul winning the United States Championship, go Logan.
Do you know what? I actually just touching it really, really quick. I actually enjoyed that Crown Jewel. Probably the first one in a long time that I actually enjoyed. It was okay. I normally hate them. I normally have another name for them.
Yes, you do.
But because we've got a connection with the company that runs them now, I can't say that. Because we don't want to lose our affiliation. By the way, if you haven't heard, we have an affiliation with WWE Shop. The link will below. We normally do have some codes, but I have to go digging for them. I'll probably find them and we'll do a special video later on. But yeah, click the link below, follow our link if you're going to buy any new WWE Shop stuff. But also, that leads us on nicely. What shirt are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Finn Balor one today.
Nice.
I watched Raw last night, so I thought I always rep the Damien Priest or the Judgment Day one, so I'd have a change on Damien and Finn Balor. So I can see you've got the LWO, which has finally happened. I told you it was going to happen. It's only took 4 months, but it's happened.
Yeah. So, LWO. I got the LWO one on. I'll be honest, it's the first one I grabbed this morning. I need some new ones, but I need to lose weight first. No, it's not even the money wise. I need to lose weight, mate, because all the nice ones are not my size. But yeah, LWO. Yeah, no, I knew that was coming when I put it on this morning when I said, I did a pod. It's going to just bring up Carlito and Santos. And yes, the group formerly known as LWO.
Well, it still is, but without Santos.
Without Santos, yeah. But as I was saying to you before we came on air, it looks like the Euro shops WWE shops give the Euro shops some sort of its own exclusive shirts. Well, we've got them first.
Shot cover.
I don't know if it's changed because I did check it yesterday and I haven't checked it today.
I've just checked it. I checked it when you mentioned it before, and it's not. It's still the same. It's not changed. So we've still got the exclusive stuff.
So we've got some. Only ones I looked at was some Cody Rhodes ones, in the camo, like he's some of the Survivor Series poster. He's American Nightmares in camo style. You get a khaki one, a grey one instead of the usual black t-shirts. I'm trying to think who else has got a new t-shirt. Oh, the main event has got a new t-shirt.
Yeet.
Let
me get it up. Logan Paul's t-shirts now come. The one I want has actually now come to Euroshop. Now I've bought his old one.
I can't deny I really want a Yeet t-shirt.
Oh my god, no. No. I look like an old man trying to be cool.
It was his promo last night. I'm going to come out and lay beat down or just the Yeet down on you. Yeah. But yeah, I've seen the Yeet one. It's pretty cool. I do like the
brought
Yeet.
Out the Eddie Guerrero, I'm Your Pappy again. Retro shirt, and they brought it out in a hoodie form as well.
See, there's only one Eddie Guerrero t-shirt I like, and I own it. It's now too small. And that's the Scarface.
Yeah, no, I like the I'm Your Pappy one as well. That's the other one I like.
It's just a bit odd, isn't it? It's like...
No. It's like I'm Your Mammy.
It's like the Acknowledge My Daddy t-shirt.
He is. He is my pappy. Like that means Dom's my son. No, my brother.
But yeah, there's a lot of t-shirts, and like we said, we've got the link below for the affiliation. Go follow the link if you're going to have a look. Even if you just go for nosy, click the link, because just in case you do buy one.
They've got pajama bottoms.
Send some stuff our way.
And if anyone that knows me knows I've got a drawer full of like Marvel, Pokemon, Man United pajama bottoms. I used to collect them, and now I've not bought any in about 2 years now. I've just seen they brought the Rock ones out. It's stone cold.
Need some new ones. I do need some ones. Do you remember when they did the 1990s palazzo pant thing for men, all like the zebra stripe ones and stuff?
Yes.
I wish I bought a load of them back then, because I have the issue with my leg now. I don't have pants that fit, and they would have been amazing. But yeah, back to Crown Jewel though. I enjoyed it. Quick little promo there. It was all right, but
it was shiny.
That's gone and passed. We had Full Gear this weekend.
We did.
And we've got
another 9-hour pay-per-view by AEW.
It was 3, just short of 4 hours. Same as the WWE one.
I know. It just seems like it lasts forever because of how many matches are on it as well.
Yeah, well, I haven't watched it yet. I've seen bits of it. I feel like I know the winners. No, I don't. I know some of the winners and losers. I'm not going to say it and go, I know all the winners and losers. And
we will go through them.
We'll have a chat about it if you want. I'm going to watch it later on. I'm not bothered about the spoilers because I've left it too long. So it's my own fault. Obviously, there's a very controversial moment in that pay-per-view this week as well. If you haven't seen it, Matt, the whole world's going fucking crazy.
Is it the signing?
No, signing. No, Hangman Swerve.
Yeah, it was quality match though. I watched that match. That was quality.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So if you haven't watched it, spoiler alert. but I won't go into too much details. Obviously, there's a Texas death match between Who's House with Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. It got gory. I am not gonna lie, it's the only match that I actually want to watch. Like I want to watch them all. Don't get me wrong, but I'm really looking forward to that match. And I have seen Hangman Adam Page somehow gets Swerve's blood in his mouth and does the old Triple H spray up in the air with it. And the whole fucking
I saw a meme with Gangrel at the bottom going like that.
But this is it. This is what I was just going to say. The whole world's going crazy because he's done it. I get it. It's Swerve's blood. Right? I get it. But Gangrel made a fucking career out of that gimmick.
There's a difference, though. And I know why people are going mental. There's a difference between Gangrel doing red wine with it. Because that's what it was. It was red wine. Because he even said himself. And but then you've got Boogeyman eating real live worms. And people not going, I know it's a bit different than blood, but it's like that's real life worms. And Gangrel did it with.
But I'm
red
sure
wine.
Down the line, there's been superstars down the line that's had blood on them. And they've cut blood off someone.
Someone in WWE did it in NXT on a takeover. I can't remember for the life of me who it was. I want to say Ciampa. It might not have been. I can't remember. It happened on NXT and on an NXT takeover during the Black and Gold era. I can't remember who it was for the life of me.
Wasn't Dream, was it?
Oh, I think it was.
I feel like it was
when
Dream
he was against Ricochet.
Yeah, against Ricochet.
Yeah, but so yeah, it's happened before. But I get the excessive thing. We'll talk about it more in detail in a minute. A few things I want to go over with you first.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a few contracts coming up. We know MJF, his contracts is coming up. We know Will Ospreay's was coming up.
Yeah. Was.
And we know there's a free agent out there that potentially is debuting or re-debuting, returning, whatever you want to call it, at Survivor Series this weekend against Shinsuke Nakamura, who's done an open challenge.
It's not him.
So we'll talk about that in a minute. The first one we're going to talk about is MJF. I believe he's already signed with AEW. I think it's done.
Yeah,
There's no way he's kept the title for this long, and then they're going to go, right, I'm going by.
No, so the reason that's got me into it is that we're coming to the end of the year. I don't think they've got a pay-per-view between now and January.
No, I don't think they have. Neither WWE.
But coming to the end of the year, his contract runs out, I think, February time, if my memory serves me right. He always bangs on about.
Yeah.
It would have been settled now. It would have been done. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have the title on him. He wouldn't be part of this very long storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Because we still don't know who the devil is. Now, if he was going in the new year, we would know who the devil is, and maybe, if not already, in the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They would be setting up for a major title match with him and the devil. And then he'd be dropping it. He's not dropping it anytime soon. They're not dropping it. They've not took tag team titles away from them yet. There's just so much to be done in a short period of time. He's re-signed. And I tell you what, I reckon the Willie Ospreay signings helped that.
There is another pay-per-view for AEW. It's called World's End on December 30th. Saturday, December the 30th, live on pay-per-view. They're throwing pay-per-views out left, right, and centre.
Well, he's trying to get it.
5.
4 a year.
Well, yeah, originally 4. 2022 was 5 because you had Forbidden Door. And then this year, there's 6. So 7 for us. Oh, no, 8, including World's End.
It's believed that they're trying to do... Is it Warner are pushing them to make more pay-per-views so they can make an on-demand service?
I think it'd help as well with stories if they have more pay-per-view, a pay-per-view a month. But because AEW are very good at building storylines, rather than just throwing it together like WWE do, it'd be better for them. Plus, you don't have to put about 9 matches on one card, which doesn't help some of the quality of the matches. Obviously, you're always going to get the bangers, which you get. There's not one pay-per-view that goes by of AEW where there's not one banger. There's always one or two. Whereas WWE, it's hit and miss whether you get a good one or bad.
I am absolutely excited now that Will Ospreay has officially signed with them.
So let's talk about MJF first, and then we'll get on to Will Ospreay. So House of Wrestling on X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it, has heard from several superstars, WWE sources, who believe Maxwell Jacob Friedman has quietly re-signed with AEW. One higher-up WWE source stated that there have been zero talks between the two sides. They further noted that the idea Friedman is set to enter free agency imminently is a false narrative, and they believe he re-signed into 2027. They also added they've tried to reach out to people around MJF, around AEW, for a comment, but obviously no one's going to mention it yet until it actually comes to it. MJF did say the following about his future. Tony Khan is definitely trying his hardest to keep me here. There are a lot of things about All Elite Wrestling that I like, but there's also a lot of things about WWE that I like. What I'm most interested in is the money. So MJF staying with AEW.
Yeah,
we can safely say MJF is staying with AEW.
I'd be severely shocked now at this point now if he turned up in WWE.
Yeah, same. So then that leads us on to Will Ospreay. Now at Full Gear, we'll talk about Full Gear in a minute, but at Full Gear, a couple of days before it, Tony Khan announced there was going to be a special announcement because he loves his special announcements about signing that was going to happen at Full Gear. It's another announcement. This one was actually needed, to be fair, because it was made it a big deal. Don't stick up for Tony Khan either, at all. Don't stick up for him. He's a tool.
I'll do what I want. I like.
No, he's a tool.
Well, he's not, mate. He's turning out a great.
He's not. Are you joking? Have you seen him in when he does his announcements? He doesn't take one blink for one. He's like that.
That's nerves, that
This week, AEW have released their new video game. I'm blinking because I can't go that long without blinking. It's stupid.
No.
So yeah,
he portrays himself on TV as a tool. I'll give you that. He portrays himself on TV as an absolute tool, but the man's doing it. And yeah, Twitter. You should stay off that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. In terms of business-wise, AEW, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about himself. He needs to shut up on Twitter and just let his social media team deal with that. Yeah. So and then Ronda Rousey debuted in Ring of Honor, so everyone thought it was going to be Ronda Rousey, which I straight away was like, no, like why are you signing Ronda Rousey, a big household name, you're signing to Ring of Honor? Come on now.
No,
and then two, she ain't going to do anything for the women's division.
So we had, I sent this to you because it was leaked before it went out on the internet and went live. I sent you the picture of her being there and was it backstage or whatever? I can't remember how I sent you. And I said to you, they need decent talent in there. And I know you're not a big fan of it. And she says, and you said, is she, the answer? No, she's not the answer, but she's the start. She's the start of the answer.
Is she the start?
Well,
she's going to injure everyone.
Hey, she's not Nia Jax.
Aaliyah, Shotzi, Liv Morgan, Raquel. That's 4 people she injured in the space of 4 months. By stupid shit.
I'm not
sticking up for Nia Jax. I don't like Nia Jax. I don't want her in the roster whatsoever. Just get her gone. But she just injures people.
You can't downgrade it.
I can downgrade her all I want because Shayna Baszler's the better wrestler by miles.
Yeah.
Anyway,
if you compare it that way, but in AEW, mate, and the female talent, she's the beginning of a good change. You take out the top stars there now. Britt, Chris, Tony Storm. But without she's classed as their top talent now. Shida, Saraya, Ruby Soho, and now what you call her?
Isn't that the women's division?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We take these top stars out of their women's division, but bar them, there's nothing else. You just said it yourself. That is the women's division.
Yeah, but there's no other women, is there?
Yeah, you got Willow Nightingale, Sky Blue.
I forgot about her. She's very good at her. I like her. She's mint.
You're a liar.
I'm not. I said it on the podcast the other month. I really like her. She was in Ring of Honor. She wrestled some good matches in Ring of Honor.
But
Then she went on to Rampage, and then Collision.
But
and now she's on Dynamite. No, Blue Sky, whatever her name is.
Okay.
I'm following her career with open eyes. Like Kira Hogan. I like Kira Hogan as well.
But yeah, you've got like Kira Hogan's there, Red Velvet. There's a few stars in there they're just not doing anything with. Where obviously bring Ronda in, it brings a bit more eyes on it. She can wrestle Ring of Honor. She can wrestle.
Yeah, like listen, if you take my hat off, then take my rose tinted glasses off, then yeah, she is. I'm not here to say it's like CM Punk thing with WWE. Does it move the needle? Yes, of course it does. Do I want him there? No, I don't. Whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
same with Ronda Rousey.
The best
do I want her in AEW? No, do I fuck? But will she move the needle? She won't move the needle, but it'll put some eyes on the women's division, kind of thing.
I'm a Ronda fan. I have been since the day she walked in. But I was a Ronda. I do apologise. Gil the pod dog is trying to climb me because I've got some food beside me.
Oh, okay. Shout out to the dog.
So say hello to the pod, Gil, because you're on it every week. Right, come on. Come on now. You disturb the pod.
That's all she wants. He wants, sorry.
He wants, yeah.
It's 2023. I'm not here to judge.
No, he's a he. Oh, and you're a tramp. He just burped in my face. Right, you're on there now. You're on YouTube. You happy?
Oh.
Right, you're gonna stand there like him. Right, you've put us off the swing. But yeah, I bet I was a Ronda fan in UFC, mate. I don't watch UFC, but I liked Ronda in UFC. So I'm a Ronda fan before she came to WWE. I popped hard at WrestleMania, mate, when she jumped the barrier and took down Triple H. I would say Stephanie, but she took down Triple H, didn't she?
Yeah.
But you're a Triple H guy, so you're not going to pop for
that. Well, I did and I didn't. I did because I thought that's cool because she's with The Rock.
But they should have done something without her and The Rock and Triple H and Stephanie. They should have done something
instead of Kurt Angle.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm a fan of her, so I'm happy she's there. She's wrestling. I hope she gets a little bit more creative input, maybe.
Oh, she's not signed officially yet, but they've had a great conversation. Tony Khan said on Twitter. I've had a great conversation with my uncle, but I don't see him and I don't like him.
Me and him talk all the time. It's always a one-way conversation.
I can imagine. Same with my cat, to be honest with you. When she comes up to me and puts her head on me, I go, "What do you want?" And she just looks at me. I don't know why she doesn't respond. It's weird. So yeah, Will Ospreay is the secret signing that AEW have made.
Willy.
He wasn't really going to go to AEW, was he? Let's face it, he wasn't going to go to WWE.
Oh, do you know what? He's come out when he said, hasn't he, that he listens.
Do you know what? I hold my hands up with what he said. I actually liked what he said. It was proper, like, he's willing to give America a chance kind of thing. He did, obviously, what he did for his family. It gives him more chance to be with his family. His kids stay in the schools that he wants him to stay at kind of thing. So, fair play, man.
But this is it. He listened to them all. He went to TNA. When he was doing a couple of shows with TNA, yeah. That was him having a look and see what he feels. He's listened to them all. And, unfortunately, WWE marks out there. AEW's clearly been a little bit more
lenient with his schedule.
Yeah, you know, and willing to help him. The guy, I know he has dyslexia. I think he might have like ADHD or something as well. Will, if you watch this, I'm sorry if I get it well or wrong, mate. Not offending you. Massive fan, by the way. Met you loads of times.
He has come on the podcast.
Hit me up. But yeah, I think he's got anxieties about USA. Now I've been to USA. You've been to USA.
I've been many times to USA. I love it.
And we live in England. We live and we go to one of the major cities in the UK, Manchester.
The major city in the UK. Carry on.
Yeah. It's busy. We've been to London. It's busy. That's where Will's from, the south of England. It's busy, but America is like London and Manchester and Birmingham put together, depending where you go.
Yeah.
It's busy, and I get anxiety issues with me going to Manchester, never mind anywhere else. And I know it like the back of my hand. So I get his anxieties, and it's cool that He's not going to shift his whole life. He's misses. I didn't know he had a kid.
No, I didn't, to be fair. Yes, I did. He put it on his Instagram a couple of All In. After All In, he put a picture of him and his kids at the arena, saying, "I finally made it."
Is it his kids or is it like me and Ben?
I'm guessing they're his kids, from what he said.
Yeah. So I have a stepson, people, so you don't understand. So, but he's my lad. He's my son. You know what I mean? He's my kid. I've been in his life since he was 10-year-old. Younger than that. Because maybe his mum's been together 7 years. So, and his dad's still around, right? But yeah, is it that sort of thing? Because he was with Bree Priestley. Well, you guys don't know who that is.
He was
Davenport for a long time. So I don't know, but fair play. He's got the contract he wants.
Yeah, fair play.
I'd love to know what money he's getting because he would have been able to put a figure on the table and they wouldn't have been able to refuse it.
Yeah, WWE would have put a figure down that's like close to some of the top stars. I'm not saying obviously as top, but it would have been close. Put it this way, it would have been triple what Jade Cargill is.
If he went to WWE, would he went straight to main roster? That's the question.
Yeah, I think he would have gone. I think it would have been SmackDown. Because they haven't got a top LA Knight and Roman, because Roman's not there. They would have put him there. Or because the tease Cody being moved over to SmackDown, it would have been Raw. Him and Seth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he would have been main roster. But the thing is, like, you look at it and people go, well, would he? Because Jade Cargill was and now he's not there. I reckon they've took a look at Jade Cargill and gone, she probably needs a bit of fine tuning, so we'll bring her off TV for a couple of weeks, get her in the performance center every day, get her fine tuned into the WWE style, and then do it first.
Well, that's what Uncle Dave said, hasn't he?
Yeah, Uncle Dave, I don't know. That's what I was guessing.
Yeah, no, Uncle Dave apparently come out and said the same thing. They've got her there. They've done this big hype for her, done this on-screen presence and stuff like that. They've got her in the PC, ran a couple of drills with her and gone, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
You think back to the AEW run, mate, it was a lot of squash matches, a lot of quick.
Yeah, it was. They weren't matches that didn't last longer than, 15 minutes, if that?
But back to Big Willie style, I am one person who's very, very excited to see what comes from this. I know we've had him there recently in the last couple of years doing Forbidden Door.
Yeah, but he's on TV week in, week out, and from February onwards, and
he deserves eyes on him.
Yeah,
he deserves. And honestly, for me, he's the only person who's going to be able to compete with Seth Rollins as the best out there right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Cody's there, but Cody's Cody. His legacy brings him to that forefront. He is the face of WWE with Seth at the moment. But I think in-ring talent-wise, Seth's on a different level for Cody, major different level. And I think that eyes on will put Will on that level very, very quickly.
Yeah, I agree. Now, the other person that is, it's a free agent, is Mr. CM Punk. Now, rumors, obviously, Randy Orton is, spoiler alert, we'll give you a few minutes. Spoiler alert. Cool. I say give you a few minutes, we'll give you a few seconds. I'll put something there so you can skip ahead. Randy Orton is returning on Saturday at Survivor Series after being out for a year and a bit. There was rumours he was never going to return again. He was done. He was injured, but then Randy came out. Well, his family came out and said he wants to go out on his terms, rather than the way Edge and Saraya had to, and Daniel Bryan had to do theirs originally, obviously before they returned. So we know that the main event is Cody, Jay, Seth, Sami. I don't know who Sami is. Sami, and Randy, and then it's the Judgment Day with Drew McIntyre.
By the way, if you ever watched last night, Drew McIntyre's opening promo.
The promo, mate. The crowd was dead. It wound me up. The crowd pissed me off more than anything. That promo was mint.
That is the perfect heel without being a full-on heel promo.
Yeah, I totally agree. So Randy's returning, so we know CM Punk isn't returning in War Games. War Games!
War Games!
War Games!
I don't know why I say it with such a giant pot of British accent on. I'm
To be
British.
fair,
Every
time I say it's War Games.
I'm just manking it. War Games, mate. So that leaves one match, and Shinsuke Nakamura has put out an open challenge. I do not think it's CM Punk, by the way. I will tell you who I think it is when we do our predictions, which are going to be on a separate video, so keep an eye out for that. But he could come out against Shinsuke. Has CM Punk signed with WWE? Is he returning? One man who has put his 2 cents in is Johnny Gargano. And during an appearance on the Battleground podcast, Johnny Gargano was asked about CM Punk possibly coming back to WWE. And here was Gargano's response, and it's not what you think it is. He says, there are so many eyes currently on WWE television. Obviously, every little bit helps. I mentioned how Logan Paul has taken the United States Championship all over the world with him and getting eyes on the product. At the end of the day, whatever is going to get more eyes on WWE television, that's the best move possible. Whoever it may be, whoever they bring in, whatever eyes they bring in, I'm all for it. Let's go. Johnny's like me, he's looking at a business standpoint.
Yeah. Do you know what? I can't wait till we get to the point where we don't have to talk about him no more.
We'll always talk about CM Punk, mate. There is not going to be one part of it where we do not talk about CM Punk.
No,
He'll always get brought Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam. It'll all just come back around.
Just drop off.
Every time they go to Chicago.
Yeah, but yeah, no.
I'm also rumors that he's still, or that he signed a new contract with AEW as well. That I've read over the last couple of days.
Oh, because he's the devil. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Do you know what? As much as I hate him, it'd be a cool twist. It'd be a cool twist because we're all expecting it to be Adam Cole or someone like that, and then it doesn't. It turns out to be CM Punk. Mate, just everyone would implode with that. That'd be mental.
That's Adam Cole, mate.
I know it is, but it'd go mental.
I'll go mental for different reasons. There are things thrown on my TV.
Okay. Anyway,
mate, I'm not going into the whole rant about him again. He's a virus. Just leave wrestling alone.
I know, but it ain't going to happen, is it? We need to get face that. He'll end up somewhere, wherever that is, whatever promotion that is. He will end up somewhere, and he will be on television. It's going to happen sometime or later. Right, Full Gear. Let's talk Full Gear. So I'll go through the matches that are here. Through all the matches. I've not watched Full Gear, like John. I've not watched it. I've watched the Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland. I watched it in the middle of the night though, so I was very knackered. So I probably can't. To be fair, I don't remember half of it. But we'll go through them. So you had the Ring of Honor World Championship match between Eddie Shit Kingston and Jay Lethal. Obviously Kingston defeated Lethal. Lethal's Jeff Jarrett companionship all came down to try and
do you know what?
Try and distract Kingston, but Ortiz came out to help Kingston. And then Kingston got the win. Apparently it was a C+ by Bleacher Report.
Jay Lethal's such a good wrestler. He doesn't need them.
Yeah, he's quality, Jay Lethal.
The group of clowns around him. Because that's all they are. Satnam Singh. The
Wish Kali.
Right, get rid of him. Yeah, Timu. He doesn't need it. He needs, do you know what? Put him on a fucking full-on heel run on his own. It's going to be good enough.
Yeah, I agree. Bleacher Report's takeaway moments was Stoke Hathaway, who is a part of the Ring of Honor board of directors, said when pressed by Tony Schiavone about the interference from Lethal's teammates, he said, "What can I actually do?" Ortiz appeared, grabbed hold of Jarrett's guitar and blasted Sonjay Dutt with it. He appeared to reunite with Kingston following the match. And Kingston commandeering a live mic is always a fun experience, regardless of the setting. Obviously, this match was done with, apparently there was only 2,000 people in the stadium at the time, because they're still trying to come in, and it's the pre-show, and it's the first match on the pre-show, which for someone like Lethal and Kingston is a bit of a kick in the balls, to be quite honest with you. As much as I hate Kingston, but he's the Ring of Honor champion. Surely you have eyes on it. And obviously after the match, he had an interview where he said, "I'm the champion, and the champion shows up week in, week out. There's other champions and other promotions that don't show up." I wonder who that's about. Seth Rollins.
He's going into the Continental Cup thing, isn't he, as well? And every match he has in that, he's defending his titles, isn't it? So
yeah, I don't understand the Continental Cup, but I've not been watching it, so
you got to have a Continental title.
Yeah, no. Tony Khan. Claudio and versus.
Say that though, mate. WWE've got the Heritage Cup, so
that's for
the only thing they brought across from NXT UK Heritage. They brought three things: the Heritage Cup, Noam Dar, and Tyler Bate.
And Gunther.
Gunther was well gone before WWE.
Still came over. I can't think of anyone else though to be. Oh, Blair Davenport. But yeah, I know what you mean. So this is what Bleacher Report said about Buddy Matthews and Claudio. If you take two wrestlers with the Carabao, don't like that competition, Mickey Mouse Trophy. If you take two wrestlers from the caliber of the House of Black's Buddy Matthews and Blackpool Combat Club's Claudio and put them in a ring with no frills or outside interference, you're setting your show up for some damn fine in-ring action. Neither man disappointed Saturday night, delivering a good, hard-hitting match that saw both men bruised and welted, but in which Castagnoli ultimately won with the sharpshooter. The match did nothing to further any ill will between the BCC and the House of Black, but it did provide fans a preview of things to come later on the main show, with great in-ring action and quality win for Claudio, even if Buddy Matthews could have used the victory more. It got a B. There was some takeaways from Bleacher Report. "We want Mammy" was chanted at Buddy Matthews. Don't know why. She's with Dom. Weird. There is an indictment on the creative and for not giving fans a reason to care about Buddy Matthews enough outside of his spot of the House of Black. Buddy Matthews used a jackhammer. The mystery signing is definitely Goldberg. Obviously, we now know it wasn't. And the physicality of the match was apparent as Claudio, who sported cuts and scrapes on the right side of his head and left shoulder.
So, just going to quickly jump back to Mammy. She says she's got Dom. She was making Google eyes at Drew last night.
I was really upset about that, and I hope Dom I was going to message him, but I thought I'll leave it for another week, see what happens after Survivor Series.
What's that? WWE.
I don't want Dom to get too upset. That's all.
WWE's having another Cup storyline.
That's been going on for ages, mate, between them. MJF and Samoa Joe versus.
You've got to another company.
Yeah, I know. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. MJF and his partner was Samoa Joe versus the Guns. It got a B+. AEW World Champion MJF wanted anything to do with teaming with Samoa Joe to defend the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles against the Guns on Saturday night, and it was apparent on numerous occasions throughout the match. He did not want to tag Joe, even turned his back on him at one point, but ultimately realised he would need the support of the Destroyer if he wanted to retain the titles. After the match, obviously MJF and Samoa Joe won. After the match, the heels beat down MJF and destroyed his knee with a steel chair, creating doubt, and this is where people started getting kicked out, getting annoyed. Creating doubt about his ability to defend the AEW World Championship against Switchblade Jay White later in the night, and providing a cliffhanger. A solid match, strong storytelling, and a great angle helped to make this the best part of the kickoff show. The fact all four of them are on the kickoff show.
Well, they need to give. It's like when they did All In, mate. They need to give them space, a bit of a breather between it. So put one right at the beginning and one at the end.
No, I know. But could have had it start, baby. Anyway, takeaways. MJF wore a purple and yellow robe to the ring with 365 written across its back. Excalibur called him out for being presumptuous, considering his 365th day as world champion is not until tomorrow, which was Sunday. and he's still the main event against Jay White, slated for later in the show. I don't need your help, MJF told Samoa Joe, then turned his back on the former Ring of Honor World Champion. And Cole's unexpected appearance drew a monster pop, which should squash any concerns that he would somehow lose popularity. Anyone who thought Adam Cole would lose popularity because he's injured is absolutely stupid and needs to sit in a room with Tony Khan on Twitter.
Listen, people of AEW, buckle in for an Adam Cole heel turn because it's coming.
We've been saying this. It's like the heel turn from Santos. I've been saying it since Cardio time back in June.
It's coming. It's a full heel turn. Adam Cole, undisputed sort of era heel turn. It's going to be epic.
Just don't want it to happen to MJF.
He's a scumbag.
Yeah. But this is where people start getting annoyed because I think it's later on in the show. Somewhere. That it turns out, oh yeah, there it is. We'll get to that in a minute, and I'll explain why people got annoyed. Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin, Sting, and Adam Copeland. Didn't call him the other name. Not allowed to.
Yeah, the artist formerly known as Edge.
The artist formerly known as Corner. I'll say Edge. It's trademarked. Sting's final match in the state of California kicked off Full Gear all the way with Ric Flair as well, by the way. Woo. Starring partner with Darby Allin and the rated R superstar Adam Copeland. You know, it's like you just got 1 star on GM mode in it. Woo. He partnered Darby Allin and rated R superstar Adam Copeland to defeat TNT champion, I was going to say that. TNT champion Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne in a trios action. The match featured a jaw-dropping bump from Allin, and both character work and spectacle befitting the legendary competitors at play in this match. Was it a great match? Not by any stretch of the imagination, even less so by the time Ric Flair got involved. Still, it was a fun opener with considerable energy and an appropriate finish as the cowardly Cage left his teammates behind to fight his battle for him.
Just on Darby, I believe he's taking some time away from the ring now as well.
Yeah, he got picked up an injury.
It's not even that, he's planning to climb Everest. He's going to do the training in China, I read yesterday.
China. Alan Copeland, Darby, and Sting all won. Takeaway moments: a chair's choir. A chair? What the fuck, man? Get your head in the game. A children's choir song. No, fuck's sake. We did outtakes on all the videos I've still got, mate. We'd actually, if we get to 100 subscribers on YouTube, I'll release it. 50 for the Clash at the Castle. 100 for the outtakes of every single video we've done.
150 of a reel of all the inappropriate things I say that Matt cuts
out. Yeah, no. 100 for you to listen to all the inappropriate things that John has said to me, and that I've got to edit out somewhere down the line. Like I've got a list in my basement or something.
You're the one who keeps bringing that one back up.
Because she's shouting, and I just wanted shut up. Anyway.
That's not even the worst one, by the way.
No, it's really not.
That's the most PG one.
It's not like Katie Vick anyway. It should not be lost on anyone that Wayne is in the ring with 3 legitimate Hall of Famers. What a time for that young competitor. What a takeaway that is. Stupid. I'll say this properly. A children's choir sang the heel team to the ring because Christian Cage is for the kids. Don't know about you. That's got a bit of a Nancy feel to it. I'm getting the word.
Nonce.
Nonce.
Yeah.
But I love Christian, so it's fine. Darby took a sickening spill over the rope, bumping the apron on the way down as Steve-O from Jackass fame watched at ringside. Also, they've got him in AEW now, have they? Okay, that's going to be a match between him and Christian at All In. My mind went blank then. Luchasaurus looked strong as he weathered a 3-on-1 attack, and Cage took off through the crowd to avoid further beating, leaving his teammates to suffer the loss. And then we cut to Tony Schiavone, whatever you want to call him, the guy that should retire next to Jim Ross. He revealed in a pre-match promo segment that I'm sorry, I don't like Tony. I never have done, like ever. Jim Ross, we spoke about Jim Ross and what he needs to do. But Tony, I can't stand his voice. It just grinds me.
I don't mind Tony Schiavone. I really don't. Yeah, I believe he does a lot. He does a lot of work backstage though as well, so I don't mind.
Yeah, that's fair dues, but just keep it backstage, yeah. Anyway. Anyway. Tony Schiavone revealed in a pre-match promo segment MJF is injured and will be unable to defend the AEW World Championship later tonight. Shock horror. Adam Cole interrupted and volunteered to do this in his place, and this is what peed people off. And this is what made the main event a bit of a clusterfuck.
Okay.
Like, because so I was up because I can't sleep properly because of my leg, and I was on Twitter and I'm just keeping reloading it to find out what's going on. And there's everyone, and I'm not talking about the WWE stands there. I'm talking about the AEW fans saying that why would Adam Cole come out to the main event and wrestle when he's injured, but then they let MJF. Obviously, we know it's storyline and stuff, but storyline-wise, they were kicking off about it somehow. I'm like, it's just a storyline, mate. You're thinking too much into this. Just chill.
It's adding to the brochachos. That's all it is. That Adam Cole, MJF's been carted off in an ambulance by this point.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. You know what I mean? We know what happens when they go. So he's been carted off in an ambulance, and Adam Cole's just going to try and protect his brochachos title. That's all that is. So I took it.
Well, yeah, that's why I took it. Then Bleacher Report.
Britt Baker didn't take it as well, though.
Wow. Bleacher Report has put this is AEW World Championship late tonight. Adam Cole interrupted and volunteered to do so. This is despite being injured and having undergone surgery recently. The booking makes no sense. No matter what big angle AEW has planned for the main event segment, a major miss. I thought it is what it is.
They were going to give Jay White the title because at that point they didn't know MJF could compete. Quotations.
What he did?
He
came back. He did a Stone Cold at the Royal Rumble,
or an Adam Page, or
no, we'll do Stone Cold.
But yeah, so I liked it. I thought it was cool because it's keeping that. It's keeping that storyline that's going. The brochachos that they'll do anything for the other one. And that's what it is. But with Stan Britt Baker, Britt actually tweeted after that segment come out saying, "This guy has been telling me for weeks that he can't even stand up long enough to load the dishwasher." And now he's offering the fight.
Typical man, honestly. Anyway, AEW International Championship match between Orange Cassidy and Jon Moxley. Obviously, Jon Moxley had been injured. Well, not injured, but he had a concussion after Rey Fenix dropped him on his head. So he's not really wrestled much since then. I don't think he's wrestled at all since then. So this is obviously his rematch.
Imric.
Yeah. He was great on commentary as well for Dynamite at one. So this is his rematch for the International Championship. Bleacher Report says AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy beat Jon Moxley as definitively as anyone has to this point in the almost 5-year history of the company, retaining his title and leaving no doubt as to who the better man is. Freshly squeezed, absorbed everything Moxley threw at him, bloodied his challenger. What? Jon Moxley on a pay-per-view bleeding? And rocked it. Oh, that's where Swerve got it from. He must have took tips. Boxing with 6 orange punches before pinning him following beach break. It was an appropriate conclusion to a story that has gone on for months and a defining moment in the career of Orange Cassidy. Moxley does not lose like this. He's so rarely on the losing side of any match, and definitely not this definitively. That means more. It's more memorable. Above all, it's a sign of respect from the former world champion to Cassidy that he would be willing to put him over to that extent. A big moment for Orange Cassidy. A strong match, some great storytelling, and a red hot crowd helped make this big win. This got an A by Bleacher Report.
I was just going to say, all Mox has done there. Mox is top talent now. He's top 5, easy in AEW.
He's done a John Cena to Wade Barrett. I like that.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
And Orange Cassidy is clearly very over by the crowd, but it's, the sloth style's not always believable. To put him in the ring with probably the toughest guy in AEW's world, Jon Moxley, and have him beat him
clean
to a degree, it's just going to help him out. And it's not going to harm Mox.
No.
But it just shows that you've got to be willing to go to war like Orange did to beat Mox.
Exactly. They also said Cassidy and Moxley on paper should not have in-ring chemistry, but they really do. Oh, look, Moxley's bleeding. At least it makes sense within the story's context as he busted Cassidy open in September at All Out.
Yeah.
Where the turnbuckle pad, Bryce Ramsberg could be overheard asking a rare referee who is not completely unaware of the surroundings inside a pro wrestling ring. I'm not going in about the referees at AEW. Then we had the AEW World Women's Championship match between Hikaru Shida and Timeless Toni Storm. Now, what they're doing with this title is hot potato. We'll give it to Shida, then we'll give it to Saraya, then we'll give it to Shida again, then we'll give it to Toni Storm, and no doubt Shida will get it back, or Saraya will, off Toni Storm.
It'll be Saraya.
Between Toni and Saraya. And then Ruby Riott will probably, or whatever her name is, or Ruby Soho, will probably win it at some point down the road. She deserves it, to be fair. She's not held a title in so long. Bleacher Report says, Timeless Toni Storm regained the AEW Women's World Championship, defeating Hikaru Shida in a shenanigans-filled match that never really lived up to the promise of the talent involved. It's Toni Storm. What do we expect out of it? There was incessant interference from Storm's butler. She's got a butler.
Yeah, Luther.
I want a butler. And cheating from the challenger. The finish came when she stuffed a metal tray in the back of her tights. I'm not even going into what I'm thinking about. And delivered a running hip attack in the corner. That's how they finished the match. She put a metal tray that Tony, fuck off. Tommy Dreamer and Sabu and RVD and everyone that's ever been in a hardcore match has been hit over the head with and kicked out at one has knocked her out. What's it made of? Solid gold.
I think there's a few other moments in it. I think Bleacher Report there has left some stuff out. I've seen a clip. She hit her over the head with her high heel and stuff like that.
The finish came when she stuffed a metal tray in the back of her tights and delivered a running hip tap in the corner to pin her. Despite the questionable quality of the match itself, there was no denying that this was meant for the character that Toni Storm has created. It was the coronation of the Timeless One, and then the appearance of Maria May. Maria May's debuted! I've got a new favourite woman in AEW. At the conclusion of the bout, continued to plant the seeds for the obsessed fan. Oh, so it's a Mickey James on Trish Stratus thing. Great. Just what we need. Actually, it might do, because that match at WrestleMania was absolute quality between Mickey James and Trish Stratus. Given how many character incarnations she's been through since arriving in AEW, it's rewarding to see Toni Storm excel, create something wholly different than anything else in the company, and get it over. Is it over? I see fans talking about it on Twitter and not liking what she's doing, but the crowd, when they're in the arena, just seems dead when she comes out still.
Me personally, I can't give a shit.
No, I've never. You know my thoughts on her.
It's not. Do you know what? I think she's all right in the ring. I rather the title stay with Saraya. What was the point of making a big hoo-ha over Saraya in London, giving Queen the entrance theme, Mum and Dad bringing her out, and then 2 weeks later to drop it?
Yeah, doesn't make sense whatsoever. Takeaway moments, or top moments and takeaways from Bleacher Report. Storm introduced the shoe, and after referee Audrey Edwards caught her, produced another and rocked Shida with it for a 2 count. Luther stopped Shida from using a kendo stick on Storm, then paid for it in the form of a low blow and a few shots about the body. That thing is still sticking out at the back of her breeches, Taz pointed out, but Edwards somehow missed on 2 different occasions in the closing moments of the match. Oh, the tray. The tray's still sticking out. What a surprise the referee missed something in AEW. Maria May, by the way, people going, oh, he's going in AEW. I like AEW. I just don't like the referees. I don't like Tony Schiavone. I don't like Tony Khan. Just a few people I don't like. Maria May joined Storm in the ring for the post-match celebration. Ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, because the Tag Team Champions, if you're not well aware of this, are Big Bill and Ricky Starks, who pinned FTR, which the Young Bucks couldn't do 2 months ago. Hashtag make it sense. Make it make sense. It got a B. Ricky Starks, Big Bill defending the tag team titles against FTR, House of Black, and Roosh. And I'm not going to try and say that. Dualistico.
Yeah, no.
Dualistico, it looks like. In a 4-way ladder match.
Some people... It could be a good match, that one. It could be a good match to watch for spots.
Some people enjoy the Fast and Furious franchise because it is loud, obnoxious. What we do in a review on Fast and Furious. There's loud, obnoxious features, jaw-dropping action and eye-catching car crashes. This was the equivalent of that film series. Also, it was shit at the end then.
And he chases a plane down a runway that's 25 million miles long.
And John Cena comes from nowhere as a bad guy, and then Paul Walker dies, and the Rock comes out of it because he's had a fight with Vin Diesel. Like, get a grip. You could have said something else there. It followed. I know what they're getting at. Spots, isn't it? Yeah, there was little to no story, Fred. What a surprise! With the tag team championship put together there.
There's 2, 4, 6, 8 men in the ring. You're not going to really be able to build much story when there's 8 men in the ring.
Yeah, no. Before it said there was little to no story thread, just moves, high spots, big bumps, and ladder climbs. So in that story thread then.
So on that note then, come Royal Rumble in January. I can't wait for all the storylines to start in that match.
You know, there is, because Logan Paul and Ricochet started from that. I'm just now. Anyway, was able to rock Wheeler with one of the belts, knocking him to the mat. I didn't even read. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Just moves, high spots, big bumps, ladder climbs before Starks was able to rock Wheeler. Wheeler was in it?
Who was Wheeler with? Oh, Cash Wheeler.
Oh, Cash. Do you know what? Do you know what? Like, so I do quizzes on Sparkle a lot. When I'm like bored, I'm laying in bed, going to sleep or something. I like playing a quiz on my phone. And I do AEW one sometimes, and I always put Dash and Dawson. And it never goes for it, and I'm like, why? That's what they're called. And I'm like, fuck no, they're not called. Yeah. It was a good match. We'll just leave it at that. It was a good match. Big Bill and Stark still won. Stark steals the spotlight every time he's on camera, whether it's in AEW or elsewhere. He's going to be a guy who headlines pay-per-views and makes boatloads of money for his employer. Some of the ladder bumps in this one were wicked, even as they looked relatively tame. Brody King delivered a Gonzo bomb to Juristico on a ladder that did not give at ringside. There you go. Then we had a new champion in the TBS Championship match. I'll finish that sentence off. Chris Statlander versus Sky Blue versus Julia Hart. It got a B. Wasn't expecting it to be, but I didn't watch it, so I can't really say. The house did not always win Saturday night, but Julia
Hart.
Thank you. Held up her end of the deal, bringing gold to the House of Black by defeating Sky Blue and Chris Statlander in a 3-way match to win the TBS Championship. The match, better than expected, thanks to some solid timing and a few clever spots. It saw Hart and Blue putting aside their differences on more than one occasion to take down Chris Statlander. The champion continued to fight and at one point obliterated Blue and Saturday Night Fever. An alert Hart leveled Statlander, pinned her rival, and won her first title in AEW. Hart, like Storm a few matches earlier, was spent considerable time building momentum for herself after showing considerable improvement during this recent push. She's had her efforts repaid in the form of a title. There is an argument that to be made that Blue should not have eaten the pin, given the fact that she's in the midst of a character transformation, but the finish protected Statlander, who was likely to be the first challenger for Hart in a rematch scenario.
Do you know what? Congratulations, Julia Hart has done a massive change in character. She was this squeaky clean cheerleader with the Hollywood Varsity Blondes or whatever they were called, Griff Garrison, and she's gone to this absolutely great. I mean, when I was at All In, she was out and about in the streets. She's not this confident person. She's dead shy and timid. Naturally, that's what she seemed like anyway. But does she deserve to win the title just yet? Probably not. But hey ho, I don't book this shit.
We should do though.
Yeah.
Blue entered the arena to new music with a new look, completing the transformation from the more generic babyface persona to this darker version of herself, brought out by the missed attack by Hart 2 months earlier. Also, she's joining the House of Black.
So the sky blue persona, mate. Have you seen it yet? It reminds me very much of AJ Lee mixed with Paige.
Oh god, I love it then because I love AJ Lee. She's my favorite ever of all time.
A mix between AJ Lee and Paige.
Right. I thought it's the women's division from now on. Cool. The finish was well executed with great timing. It got a B. So, and then we went to the most controversial match in the world, apparently. Obviously, they announced Will Ospreay is All Elite.
Mm-hmm.
Moments later, Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland settled their personal rivalry in a Texas death match.
Right. AEW have done these many a time so far. WWE's done them. Well, WWF has done them at some point, or WWE, whatever you want to, whatever era. And they're never really death matches. They're just glorified.
It's just a hardcore
match. Normally, yeah. But Hangman and Swerve, mate, have seemed to have taken it as close as he could to that death match. There were staplers used, barbed wires around chairs. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but it looks great. And obviously the controversial moment we spoke about earlier on, Hangman not drinking, putting it in his mouth, Swerve's blood, sprayed it out, good old Triple H style.
I'm just having a look at the history of the Texas Death Match in pro wrestling. So you have seen Dory Funk again and Mike DiBiase. It's obviously been called different matches. Hulk Hogan, Harley Race had one at Madison Square Garden in 1987. Lasted barely 10 minutes, apparently. That's apparently the only one in WWE. Fair play. It doesn't surprise me because it's WWE. Anyway, Full Gear.
Well, yeah.
What are we up to? Yes.
If you've never watched a death match before,
let's go to the WWE Network. Go type in ECW and go and watch. I'm sure there's one on ECW.
Just Google it, mate. GCW hold a deathmatch tournament every year. They are not tickle fests. They are not your traditional back and forth suplex. There's usually barbed wire. There's usually glass, light tubing, chairs, staplers.
Oh, mate, just type it in on Google, like you said. Well, I typed in ECW Texas Deathmatch. Sandman versus Cactus Jack. Terry Funk versus Eddie Gilbert. Vader versus Cactus Jack. Impact did one at Hard to Kill. Mickey James versus Deonna Purrazzo. Whether that's going to be any good or not, I don't know.
What you call him from GCW? Like, he did a match in AEW not long ago.
Nick
Gage, King of the Death Match. He nearly murdered David Arquette in a death match. Nearly. By accident, I believe. So he says it was an accident. But they're not your squeaky clean matches, and I just think people are getting a little bit up in arms about this death match because it had a bit of blood.
Because it's 2023 and stuff like that you don't see anymore. Like on TV itself, I know it's pay-per-view, but in terms of a company, you don't see WWE doing it, obviously, because they wouldn't do, because they're not that kind of company. So, and that's where people look at. They look at WWE because obviously it's been the mainstay since its inception. So when people look at wrestling and sports entertainment, they look at WWE. So if WWE does it, it's fine.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. If it's something new and you've not seen it, so Strickland drinking. Was it Strickland that drank the blood?
Oh, Paige. Hangman.
Paige drank the blood. Obviously, they've never gone back and watched the Attitude Era or ECW back in the day.
Or branched out into the other ones that are out there, like I say, GCW.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
literally do these all the time.
When you're looking at the old stuff.
Yeah.
That's why everyone's kicking off, because it's 2023 and you don't see it anymore on main TV.
Yeah. Well, like we were talking before, it's happened in WWE fairly recently. We can't remember who it was. I think it was NXT. Like I said to you, I think it was Dream. Did it where he got some of his blood, he licked it and ran it down his chest. I feel it was Dream Ricochet. I might be well wrong.
Sorry, I just typed in who licks blood in NXT. I'm just trying to find out who it was. First question that came up was, why does Moxley bleed so much?
He's John Moxley. He can do what he wants.
Yeah.
But yeah, it happened.
Shinsuke Nakamura against Sami Zayn at NXT TakeOver Dallas, Texas, in 2016.
There you go. So 2 main stars right now.
Yeah,
I've done it. It's just but what rating did the match get from Bleacher Report, mate?
NA.
NA. There we go.
Oh, A-.
It's still an A. Enough said. It's clearly, it looked like an absolute brawl. If you are a little bit squeamish, no, watch it with caution. But then again, if you're watching AEW every week, you see John Moxley bleed.
Yeah, right. There's only 2 matches that got A's this pay-per-view. And it was Orange Cassidy and John Moxley. And Swerve and Paige.
Whose house?
Swerve's house. So, yeah, it says, what ensured was one of the most violent, grisly, graphic matches in company history. It fit the story in that Paige was vengeful, looking to punish Strickland for invading his home and threatening his family. The crowd cringed every time the cameras focused on the crimson masked faces of the competitors. They've obviously never watched Judgment Day between Eddie Guerrero and JBL. Or John Cena and JBL.
Already John Moxley matching AEW.
Yeah. Or Triple H in the 2000s when he was bleeding week in, week out. Week in, week out. Adrenaline-fueled urgent burst of energy. Brian Cage interfered, but paid for it, and Page finally got a measure of revenge on Prince Nana by driving him through a table. It was Strickland's use of a cinder block and steel chain that ultimately earned him the hard-fought victory. The match develops into a great hardcore match, but misses an 8+ grade because of the use of the staple gun early on. In hindsight, was totally unnecessary and needless, cringeworthy. The same story could have been told without crossing the line into tastelessness, and the opening minutes flirted with it. On a positive note, Strickland is a made man now. Fans were already totally behind him, even more so after the victory. This was his Austin at WrestleMania 13 moment, and he passed with flying colours. He is the future world champion of this company, and there is no doubt about that.
We've said it for a while.
There is a fine line between hardcore wrestling and garbage wrestling, and there were way too many instances of this company stepping right over it, to the point that it starts. I mean, do you remember the big explosion in the ring for the my God.
Stop reading on there, mate, because it's infuriating me. I get people don't like these style of matches. I know you're not a big fan of.
No, I hate them. I don't get the big thing about them.
There's people out here. The stapler, bring the stapler. It's a death match style match. It's meant to be a little bit more to the bone.
Yeah.
And I remember watching TNA at one point, mate, where Devon or somebody was stapling money to people's head. I can't remember who it was.
In TNA?
It was way back, mates. Or it might have been when they brought Thingy in. New Jack, yeah. And New Jack made a career out of doing this shit, mate. And people absolutely adore him, and he's iconic.
Again, though, it was back when you could get away with it.
Yeah. I just don't get how, if you don't like it, it's fine, but you don't need to go, the match went from an A+ down to an A- because they brought a staple gun out. Fuck off. Chris Jericho wrestled, I mentioned before and I forgot his name already. Deathmatch King. Oh, what's his name now? Sorry, my man. No, the one before.
Chris Gage.
Nick Gage.
That's the one.
He wrestled Nick Gage live on TV and got his head cut open by a piece of cutter. And it was actually during an advert break for Domino's Pizza.
Are they on mainstream TV though?
That was the Chris Jericho against Nick Gage, AEW.
Oh, on AEW.
Yeah. It was the challenges you had to go through to get a match against MJF.
Oh, okay.
I get it. People don't like it. Some people do. I do like it. And the stapler, if they looked a little bit closely, he wasn't just stapling random bits of paper. He was stapling pictures his kids had drawn to Swerve's face and body, as in a dig up for it invading his home. And because the promo was he invaded his home and he stood over his kid's cot.
That's fine then. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Just winding you up.
It's part of the storyline, put it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I hate these kind of matches. I don't see the point in them at all. It's not fun to watch. For me personally, I don't find them fun to watch. I like hardcore, don't get me wrong. I like it when you see people get put through tables, ladders, chairs. I like the odd barbed wire around the chair or baseball bat like Mick Foley, Cactus Jack used to do, kind of thing. I like it, but if you were to say to me, go and watch ECW back, I'd never go and watch ECW back in the day. I don't want to. It's not something that I look forward to. But in terms of this, it's on pay-per-view. So you paid for it.
Yeah.
You knew what you were going to get.
Do you know?
It is what it is at the end of the day.
Do you know, for me,
it said it in the match type. It's a Texas hardcore death match, whatever it's called.
For me, these sort of matches traditionally, for me, is the right way to end a fierce rivalry. And I don't mean like you stand at rivalry like
Shinsuke and Seth.
Shinsuke and Seth, or Seth and Matt Riddle in that cage match thing they had. Yeah,
the fight pit.
If you look back in history, and the one match pinged straight into my head, and it's one of my favourite matches since Cactus Jack, Triple H, 2000.
Hell in a Cell.
No, Royal Rumble.
Oh, the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, thumbtacks were used. That was meant to end that feud, that fierce feud that Triple H was having with Mick Foley. At that point, that was his last match. If he beat him, he was done. Obviously, he got brought back Linda. In, and was it Linda brought him back?
Yeah.
For the Hell in a Cell and stuff. But back then, that was a pay-per-view that you paid for. There was thumbtacks, and everybody got up and
We didn't. We had it on Channel 4.
Yeah, we didn't. No. But it was thumbtacks used, and Mick Foley says in his own one of his documentaries about the matches, he was told not to use thumbtacks by Vince McMahon. They still did.
And I'll say it again, though. It was that era where you could get away with it, and people weren't
absolutely.
asked.
And I think that's the big problem is people watch. We only had WWE for so long, and it's been stuck in a PG era because of the broadcasters have made it a PG programming.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so used of like blood only happening by accident, and the only hardcore stuff we see is tables, kendo sticks, and chairs.
Yeah.
Long gone is Triple H's sledgehammer. Jesus Christ, Triple H was smashing people in the ribs week in, week out.
So what we've made out of this is people are fairies and snowflakes and need to get over it.
Yeah. Ultimately, cool. Yeah. Next match.
Cool. I've been saying it for ages. The Golden Jets versus the Young Bucks. This got a B. The Golden Jets, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega. Omega, that's closed down now. Kenny Omega battled the Young Bucks in a match set up by the latter's mounting frustration with their friend's partnership with the Ocho. Jericho and Omega won. The match struggled to get the crowd back after the preceding match. Obviously, they just watched Strickland and Page. But did have them invested late on once the competitors went through their action-heavy finish sequences. The post-match firmly established the Bucks as heels, and it will now be interesting to see how they respond moving forward. Might an alliance with Don Callis be in the horizon for the Young Bucks?
So, I'm led to believe now they're taking time away. Brandon Cutler is tweeting out that they're taking some time away and be with the families, whatever. It's also whether it's true or not, they're going to stop doing BT as well on YouTube. Which is a bit of a shock and a kick to me. There hasn't been a really good new episode in weeks. Big BT fan, but it looks like the Bucks are going to be taking some time away from wrestling for a little while. If it's true, it could be just the build on the
internet
storyline.
rumors.
Yeah. Well, it's coming from Brandon Cutler.
All right.
So unless, like I say, unless they're building from the go away for a couple of weeks and return back with Don Callis.
Yeah.
Which would be perfect booking.
Well, interestingly, Callis joined the commentary team for the match despite his family losing Wednesday's Street Fighter and Dynamite. Might it suggest a major storyline development? Have you had a conversation with the Young Bucks this week? Taz asked Don Callis, and he said, "No, I've not." The most hated man in AEW replied, because he's totally trustworthy and has never told a lie in his life. The Bucks rocking Colby's was a nice nod to continuity, seeing as the show was held in Los Angeles. Oh, Colby. Okay. The crowd struggled real hard to get into this one after Colby. The crowd struggled real hard to get into this one after the last match, not just because of all that went on to into Page and Strickland, but also because of the story just not hitting home just yet. Jericho sold the damage done to his right arm by the Bucks by hammering Matt Jackson with the left-hand punches. Looking for 5 stars with this one, Nigel McGuinness said. By the way, Nigel McGuinness is a quality commentator. I said it when he was in NXT, and I'll still say it now. He is an absolute quality commentator, and they need him on there week in, week out, rather than just pay-per-views and Collision. For me, take over Tony.
I think it does Collision.
He does Collision.
Yeah,
he does pay-per-views and Collision. Get him doing the main one. Honestly, it's so much better. It sounds so much better.
Honestly, and I think we've said this multiple times, I like Nigel McGuinness. I like Excalibur.
Excalibur, Taz, Nigel McGuinness. It needs to be.
And if you're not confident in somebody and you want somebody to lead, and that's why you keep bringing JR back, go after Morano.
Yeah. Mike Adamle. One or the other.
Go for no. I want Morano back on TV.
I want Mike Adamle. Do you not remember Mike Adamle?
No.
Yeah, good. He was crap, mate. He was fucking.
Get Morano back on TV.
Who did he call? He got someone's name wrong on live TV, and they went to a break, and he came back, and he wasn't there. Can't remember who it was. I think it was Randy Orton. Yeah, looking for 5 stars with this one. Nigel McGuinness said as the Bucks set up for the Meltzer driver. Nigel knows what's up. And then the AEW World Championship match between Adam Cole and Switchblade Jay White. Because Adam Cole's not injured now.
What do you mean?
The lack of logic surrounding the booking of this feud throughout the course of this show has been mind-blowing, Bleacher Report said. Due to injury, MJF was unable to compete in the main event and defend his AEW World title against Jay White. So his best friend, Adam Cole, stepped up and competed in his absence despite also being injured and having recently undergone surgery on his ankle. Book of the Year stuff, right? MJF drove back into the arena like Stone Cold Steve Austin in a Vince Russo fever dream and hit the ring to defend his title. What ensured was a match that did not live up to the efforts of the men involved. Both MJF and White worked hard, but the lack of consistency throughout made it one of the more lackluster matches in the company's history. The entire story was based around an injured leg. I've got an injured leg. I can't wrestle. That was only injured when it needed to be and not when there was a high spot to execute. There was a referee bump. Surprise, surprise. Incessant cheating late and a Superman booking of the main event babyface, the likes of which would make John Cena really proud. Add to the fact that White looks like the biggest loser on the planet after failing to beat a one-legged champion, even with his hobbled best friend at ringside. You have a main event that was as a jumbled mess. A main event that never needed the overbooking that started with the injury angle earlier in the night, devolved into creative mess that it ultimately became. Is MJF a great professional wrestler? Absolutely. Does he need hopelessly overbooked messes like this to stay over? No. What he does need is to avoid the same booking tropes that turned fans against the resilient babyfaces in WWE over recent years, and more importantly, quality heels to work with. White no longer is mostly because he failed to overcome a champion who competed on one leg for most of the match, despite using a championship belt to his advantage and having chance to do the same with the Dynamite Diamond ring. It was a horrendous booking of Jay White, an unnecessarily complicated show-long storyline, an illogical booking decision to allow Cole into the mix in the first place, and inconsistent selling from a student of the game that is usually way better than stuff like that. On a positive note, the crowd was hot, so there's that. Too much of that schlock booking note will eventually turn them on MJF. It got a C. Cole's presence at ringside is hanging over this one like a dark cloud. Why is MJF jumping off the top rope with an elbow drop to the floor on White when he's nursing a knee injury? It's par for the course as far as making sense, but still an absurd addition to this ridiculously overbooked match. That was a long-winded review of the match. I kind of agree. I don't get the logic of why you... Forget the Adam Cole thing for a minute. I don't get the logic of if you're on one leg, why are you going to that? I get the whole trying to beat Jay White thing. Yeah. But why are you going to the top rope? Why are you not absolutely hanging over the fact that you've got the one leg? And if you were really going to push this the way it should have been, Jay White should have won that to make Jay White look strong. MJF still stays strong because he was hurt at the time. So when he's fully fit at the next pay-per-view, whatever it's called, I forgot. I've got rid of it now. MJF then wins it back thanks to Adam Cole. Then Adam Cole turns on MJF. And then there's your story with MJF and Adam Cole. Carrying on.
So they obviously they've done it to keep his 365-day record.
No, I know why they've done it. I know it's like Roman. Yeah, exactly the same, but the reason they've got the title on him still.
With the leg in the top ropes is that obviously because let's be honest, MJF's still quite. He's not. I'm not going to say he's an NXT rookie or a rookie in any shape or form, but he's still quite new to the business as such compared to some competitors.
Okay.
Is that his? Does that? I'm trying to think the right word here.
Was that his decision to do that?
No, I'm saying is that him? No, going up to the top rope and not selling that leg.
Properly. Oh right, is that? Yeah, I know what you mean.
Part of of his what is the word?
Immaturity.
It's not immaturity, but yeah, it's along that lines. He's in naivety still to what he needs to be doing. He should have went to climb the ropes and couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and it fell down off the rope or whatever. Then again, Tony Khan shouldn't have booked his leg attacked in the first match either.
Yeah, no, I agree.
If you're gonna injure him and you want it so it doesn't affect, injure an arm, injure a shoulder.
Yeah,
you can tape it up. Then it's easy to remember because it's going to be taped. It's going to be to his side.
Sell it more. You can sell it more.
But no, it's a shame that it harms Jay White. If it does harm Jay White is really tough.
I think it does. I think now Jay White drops down. He doesn't. I think we're going to go forward. Something's going to happen with Adam Cole and MJF, obviously, because that's where they're going with it all. Yeah. Where do they go with MJF now? Because if Adam Cole's still injured, you ain't going to get him doing anything in the ring because he can't just yet. So where do you go with MJF in the title now? Do you get Roderick Strong booked with him?
It's whether this injury is real. I think it's the part. I think it is. I think it is real. I think now's the time to pull the trigger on the devil. So if it is Adam Cole and he's not injured, pull that trigger now.
Yeah.
Pull that trigger now and work that storyline.
They've got an issue here now that if they drag this on for too long, fans are going to go, I don't care now.
Uncle Howdy.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got it, and we're all questioning it now. I think we've had enough just random appearances. Pull the trigger. Even if you don't pull the trigger on the devil himself, pull the trigger on the group.
Yeah.
Who's behind the masks? Roderick Strong without his neck brace. Is it Roderick Strong? Is it the Kingdom? Is it Kyle O'Reilly?
Yeah.
I think the issue is though, if you're going to do the strict with the masks of the group, go for the ones less likely to be aligned with Adam Cole first. So the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, well, is Roddy Strong then?
Yeah, I agree.
The devil. I mean, if you do Roddy Strong and Kyle O'Reilly right away, you might as well just take the mask off the devil straight away.
Yeah, I agree. I think it does hurt Jay White. Like you said. Don't think he's ever welcome in AEW again. Yeah, I think it does hurt Jay White in the long run. Where does Jay White and the Bullet Club go from here? Trios titles against the Acclaim.
The trios titles, and I'd put trio titles in the Gun Club and Rock Hard, and the TNT title around Jay White for a bit.
How'd you get the TNT title away from Christian and Edge? Adam Copeland, sorry. Because that match is going to come ahead soon. They need another title.
Yeah, Continental title. Does Christian retain it?
International?
Does Christian retain it against Edge? We get a bit of a face run from the Gun Club and Jay White, and then they go against Christian, and them lot, they take the titles.
Mm.
He's booked himself in a sticky situation here, because that ultimately we're going to probably see Adam Copeland with the TNT title.
Yeah.
But then it's, who does he book to take that from? Don't get me wrong, Adam will work for anybody in a rollover.
Adam Copeland.
Yeah, Adam Copeland. Yeah.
He said Adam Cole.
I said Cole. I stopped myself.
Oh, I thought you said, okay. I was well confused then. I was like, Adam Cole? Yeah, Adam Copeland's going to win it. Yeah.
He'll win it, and he'll put people over, and he'll be happy to drop it. So you could book it. Adam Copeland wins. He goes up against Jay White. Christian costs him.
Yeah.
To continue on that story. That sort of thing. Yeah. Put TNT title on Jay's. Put the trios around the Gun Club and Rock Hard, and do something with them. That's the only way I think now with them.
I agree. Altogether, Bleacher Report gave it a B-. They said AEW Full Gear had a really strong middle portion with great work from the young stars in the women's division, a solid ladder match, and despite the grossness of the early portion of the Texas Death Match that made star Swerve Strickland, the opening trios match featured plenty of current and future Hall of Famers, but never reached the quality that most AEW pay-per-view openers are synonymous with. The last two matches featured gaps within the logic of creativity that ultimately dragged the overall quality down. MJF remained a focal point, is the right call, but him and Jay White deserve better than whatever mess they would put in on Thursday and Saturday night. The inconsistency within the creative is beginning to show itself more than any other point in AEW history. Tony Khan and the rest of the team must step back and work to shore things up, that there will be more nights like this. Was Full Gear a bad show? Not by any means. Was it one that never lived up to the potential of its card? Yes. A good show, but not a great one.
I think, for me, obviously the last couple of pay-per-views I've watched or looked at for AEW, I feel the card booking does them over. Opening with the trios match.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have opened with that. Put the Texas Death Match on before
the main event was stupid.
Before the tag team
before match. The tag match, yeah.
Yeah, for me, as a traditional pay a card for wrestling, the world title will always be main event. So that's whether it's overhyped or whatnot. That's always got to be there. But I feel like putting the Young Bucks in and Jericho and Kenny Omega after the Texas, it should have been Texas Chainsaw main event, a Texas Deathmatch main event. Opening with the match that most people are probably looking to see because it's Adam Copeland and Sting. I wouldn't have opened with that match. I would have probably opened with the ladder match.
I wouldn't have put Swerve and Page just before the main event because it'll outburn the main event. I think that probably deserves.
Do you open it?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You open with that. You open with it. Then in the middle, you have your exciting ladder match. And then you have, if Bleacher Report are right in saying that the Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, Young Bucks match didn't have the crowd going because it was outburned by Strickland and Page. So you put that.
Or do you open with the Kenny Omega Young Bucks match?
No, if you're going to do any, Well, yeah, potentially you do that, and then you put Swerve in the middle, and then you put, obviously you've got the main event, and you put everything in between it. You put the ladder match in between Kenny and Jericho and Swerve, and then you put the women's matches in between, because one, you get the whole build up of Julie Hart and the shock that she's beat Chris Statlander, and then Toni Storm winning the title as well. It's like, oh my god, we might have all 3 titles change hands in a row here. Or just before it, you have Swerve Strickland, you have the women's title, you have the 6-man tag between Copeland, Darby, Sting, Christian, Wayne, and Luchasaurus. Then you have the TBS title, and then you have the main event. That's how I would have booked it.
It was like All In. All In, they opened up with like
Punk and Joe won it.
Punk and Joe was the opener. Was that not pre-night was the opening match?
No, that's the opening match.
And then you had Cena and Punk and Joe, the Golden Elite against the Don Callis family, then the Young Bucks against FTR, and these are the matches people were tuning in for. Now, was at home, I would have lost interest till later on.
Let's have a look. That's not even in Raw, that. You had CM Punk Joe, you had the Bullet Club Gold, Takeshita. Right. Defeated the Golden Elite. Then you had FTR Young Bucks. Then you had the Stadium Stampede. Then you had the 4-way women's match. Then you had Coffin match, Ospreay Jericho, the Acclaimed against the House of Black, and then NJF.
But that's it. By the time you got to the Acclaimed House of Black match, I actually forgot that match was on the card.
Do you know what it's like though? WWE do that at WrestleMania. If you remember the New Day versus the Brawling Brutes in not this year's, last year's at 38, it went on just before Roman Brock, and everyone forgot about it, and it only got like 7 minutes.
So, like All In, House of Black, and the Acclaimed should have opened it, or Punk and Joe should have opened it, then House of Black and Acclaimed.
Yeah.
There's no way that match should have came after Kenny, the Golden Elite, the Young Bucks and FTR, Ospreay and Jericho, Saraya. Obviously, these all had special entrances as well.
Yeah.
But no, I think we're at a point now, mate, because we're going to do another video, aren't we, for our Survivor Series predictions?
We are.
So I think we're at a nice point to end this week's pod. And here comes the point that we get to every week. Should maybe drop this in earlier, mate. Maybe let's change it up.
I need to do like a separate video just for it so I can just put it in.
Yeah. But here's the point where we ask you to subscribe to everything. So if you're watching us here on YouTube, thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. Listening to us absolutely rabble on. Hi, Tomo.
Shout out to Tomo.
We need to get a Tomo count. We need to get his own little graphic, the shout out to Tomo.
I'll do that. I'll get that and I'll get a picture of him.
But yeah, thank you very much for watching. But hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, like the video. It'd be really, really appreciated if our subscriptions go up a little bit. Also, social medias. So Facebook, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it nowadays, it is Wrestling Fellas. Is it just Wrestling Fellas? It is just Wrestling Fellas, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And
also,
then, sorry. Yeah, come on. Sorry.
No, go on.
All I was going to say was, if you guys, so we're doing Matt v John at the moment. The new video went out on Sunday. Go and watch it because it was a really good show. It was SummerSlam. The next one goes out tomorrow.
Yeah, and if you haven't watched, you need to watch this one to get the next one.
Yeah. Yes, you do. I'm gonna start doing, and I think I'm gonna record it when we're done. I was gonna do Here Comes the Pain. Then I thought I'm gonna start at Just Bring It. I'm gonna do Just Bring It career mode. Then I'm gonna do Shut Your Mouth. Then I'm gonna do Here Comes the Pain. Then SmackDown versus Raw. You shut your mouth. It doesn't matter what you think. And then just go through all of them. The reason I've not done the PS1 is because I need a different adapter. and I don't have it. I'm waiting for it to come. So I'm just going to start Just Bring It. I'm going to do that. So once Matt v. John is done, I'm then going to start doing a career
Season
mode. Season 1 of Matt v. John. And then I'm going to start putting out Matt Plays again, and it will be Just Bring It. Have you watched Supercars just released season 10?
So I was just about to get into that, mate, because Matt has put out on the social medias this week about Supercard. Supercard has just hit season 10. I am a season 1 player, so I have played Supercard since the day it dropped.
And then I got a new phone and I didn't remember my password or anything, so I lost it at like season 8.
And I have been playing it, and I am playing it avidly right now. I'm really back into it. Just shit for the matter of my brother-in-law started to play it, and it's a bit of rivalry between me and him who can get the highest, the better cards. But yeah, I do play it. And yes, on that, I will start streaming Supercard.
Cool. But I am going first.
I'm going to hold out till the next time the new drops.
Okay.
Because going in now, I'm midway through my season rebuild and stuff like that, because they've literally revamped it all, which I'm cool to go through with when I start streaming for those who want to pick it up. But let me make it worth it for the viewers. Because when the drops, if you're not aware, Twitch does drops on different games all the time. You get in-game rewards from watching people stream it. So if I'm going to go on it, it's quite I'm going to have time to interact with people as well. It's a quite quick flow, but let's make it worth it for the people coming watching us. So I know I've got the stuff to do it. It's all ready to go because I did stream for a short period of time. It's really easy for me to do. I just need to get a secondary screen. But yeah, I will, once I know the next stream Twitch drops are coming, I will start to stream it and we can get footage for it.
Coolio.
They won't be long streams. Admittedly, maybe be an hour max, maybe 2 hours.
How long do they do the drops for?
They do them for about 3 or 4 days, mate.
So you could do one, then because I'm starting again. So
cool. Well, if you need any help with it, you know where I am. I'm a bit of an expert on it. Like I said, I've been playing it since freaking day 1.
Yeah, I played it like non-stop till season 8, and then I lost my phone, so I had to get a new phone, and I couldn't remember any of my passwords, so I've got to start again. I was well gutted because I was like, I forget it was on Titan. Titan was the top tier.
Don't really exist no more.
And I was well, there you go. And then I was like flying, and I was well happy with it, and then I just can't get back. So I just kept saying to myself, I've been this far in. Like, why am I starting now? So yeah, but no, I'll get back into it again.
I play it. Well, Zoe plays it. My brother-in-law's got into it at the end of last season and the beginning of this season. I'm in a team with a streamer as well at the moment, so I'm heavily in it. So definitely will. Once the drops come, I'll get a stream going. Depending on how busy the stream is, I'll stay on it. Obviously, I'm not doing 24-hour streams because it'll probably be one night after I finish work.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll stay on it and I'll stay on long. I'll even turn my camera off and leave the stream running if people want to, but I'll only do that if I get enough subscribers. So that uses my electric.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have Supercar coming. Obviously, we'll get the Twitch stuff out as and when that's coming around. But yeah, back to the social medias. Obviously, TikTok. Matt's been doing a little bit of work on that. I have took a little bit of a step back.
I've been using CapCut.
See, when I use CapCut, mate, it never gets any views, so that's why I dropped it and I do my own. But I've seen yours have. But yes, the TikTok is Wrestling Fellas Pod. I want to say his numbers there, isn't there? No, Wrestling Fellas Pod. Jump over there. I'm trying to get back in. I've neglected it for my own personal reasons. That's fine. But yeah, I'll get back onto that. Matt's on it too now. And then we've got the Instagram page, which is Wrestling_Fellas Pod. hit across, subscribe, follow every one of them. Like we've said before, if we start getting enough followers, we may start doing giveaways, competitions, stuff like that. Also, it will help us develop our WWE affiliation, where we'll be able to get our own special code for you guys. But, mate,
someone from China's just called me.
Someone from China?
Sorry, I've just had a missed call. Someone from China's just rang.
On your WhatsApp?
No. It's a mobile. No, that's an English mobile. Yeah, I've got a voicemail.
That's computer.
I'll listen to it in a minute.
I want to hear this. But yeah, mate, until the next video in literally a couple of minutes after you listen to your voicemail, peace out.
Peace.
Yay.